Namaste listeners, welcome to a very special episode of History Talks with Rajesh. I'm your host Rajesh Soail, and today, well, it's nothing short of magic. I have with me the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi Juit.
Namaste, Beta Rajesh, and namaste to all your lovely listeners. It is always heartwarming to see the young curious about the past. Let's begin.
Thank you so much, Bapu. I want to ask you something that many children wonder. Why was Pakistan created in 1947? What was the need? Why did Jinnah want a separate nation?
Such important questions. The idea of Pakistan was not sudden. It grew slowly, rooted in fear, politics, and misunderstanding. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who once believed in Hindu-Muslim unity, later felt Muslims would not be treated equally in a Hindu-majority India. He began demanding a separate homeland.
But Gandhiji, weren't we all Indians first? Couldn't this have been avoided?
Indeed, Beta. I always believed that India belonged to all Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians alike. The mistrust had grown deeply between communities. The British used a divide and rule policy, which had sown decades of division. By the 1940s, those seeds bore poisonous fruit.
So was the British government involved in creating Pakistan?
Yes, indirectly. The British were leaving India after World War II, but they wanted to exit in a way that protected their interests. They encouraged separate identities. Lord Mountbatten, the last British viceroy, oversaw the partition. He rushed the process, fearing civil war, but ironically, the hasty partition led to violence.
And why did Jinnah insist so strongly? Was it only about religion?
Religion was used as a tool. Jinnah said Muslims were a separate nation, culturally and politically. But underneath it, there were political interests, power, representation, and leadership roles. He feared Muslims would become a minority voice in a united India.
Was there no way to convince him otherwise?
I tried. I even offered to let the Muslim League form the government to avoid partition. But by then, the Congress and Muslim League had deep differences. British exit became a deadline, and decisions were rushed. Partition seemed like the only solution to maintain some peace, though it cost millions their homes and lives.
It must have hurt you deeply, Haina Bapu.
I tried. I even offered to let the Muslim League form the government to avoid partition. But by then, the Congress and Muslim League had deep differences. British exit became
What message would you give us today as children of a divided past?
a deadline, and decisions were rushed. Partition seemed like the only solution to maintain some peace, though it cost millions their homes and lives. Caste or language divide you. India is your home, love and protect it with compassion.
Thank you so much, Bapu, for your time, your truth, and your blessings.
Bless you and your all listeners, Rajesh. Let peace be your path and keep the spirit of nation always high.
Thank you. At Bapu. So listeners, I hope you might be enlightened by the talk. His rhetorics and logics to convince us why this Pakistan being created, we had some strong leaders. Like Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who could stop this partition. But anyhow, if you like the podcast, please share your views as well as your comments too. I will be back soon with new podcast talk. Till then, goodbye and namaskar.